Yeah, I sort of fell face first into product management. I wanted to work with a friend of mine who I reached out to and he said, "Hey, we need a product manager for this thing. I think you'd be really good at it. Do you want to do it?" And I said, "Yeah, sure," because I wanted to work with him. And then I immediately Googled what a product manager was. And I've kind of stuck around with it because I think it gives amazing exposure to all the different aspects of a business and learning all the different functions and learning what a great company looks like, and trying to help build that up as a nucleus of a lot of stakeholders. So the most enjoyable is seeing something that you've built provide a really great customer outcome or experience. So I work at a company called Drift, and we build a revenue acceleration platform that has like chatbots and live chat. And every now and then I'll just be browsing the internet and I will come across it on a random website of something that I was looking at. And it's so cool to see that thing that we built on these pages. And I would say the most difficult, it was probably in each product management role, has been the process of finding product market fit. It's really an exhaustive journey. And in those early days, it's really, really hard to get it right, but it leads to a really great reward when you start to see your customers adopt the product more and more and more. You know, somebody can be a product manager, but that means wildly different things in tons of different places. And so I think it's generally the same thing for growth and the term that growth is applied to. So like you were saying, growth marketing, growth hacking, product-led growth. I think of growth generally as a team or a person. Usually it has some technical aspect of the team, and they are applied to a business lever. So something like activation or retention or some sort of outcome like that versus like a part of the product or a marketing channel, right? So I kind of think of it as a little bit of a catch-all. It really is, you have to understand what's going on at that company and what that person is owning. Yeah, so Drift has gone through all sorts of phases over the years. We started from the, free offering type world and then built product out from there. And so with that, we built up this natural progression where people came in, they were signing up for the free product, and then they would use it. And then we would either find ways to get them to buy through product changes or through like a sales organization that we had. And I think that we built ourselves on top of an amazing marketing engine in those early days, and a lot of the product kind of played catch up to it because the marketing can iterate a lot faster than product can. And so we kind of had some growth, product-led growth functions built in along the way. I think the most successful viral loops come when the product has an inherent viral lever in it. So take a quick example, Zoom. You can't use Zoom unless another person is using it. I mean, you could just sit in a meeting by yourself, but obviously the value you're getting is that another person also has it and you connect with them. I think Drift has a different type of virality where people install the Drift chat widget on their website. And so we wind up on all these websites across the web. And so we can put our own branding on it, which powers a viral funnel for us. The way that we think about it is that conversational marketing has shifted this mindset where marketing is all about the numbers. It's all about internal numbers and funnels and all that, and people aren't really treated like people, right? Sales and marketing used to be really conversation driven before websites became like this statistical funnel thing where you just try to get more out of it. And so we think conversational marketing has shifted it back towards the goal is to have conversations with these people that come to your website, find out what they're looking for, find out where you can help them, and then build a relationship from there. I think from what I've seen, I think the best retention strategy is a really good acquisition strategy where you get somebody value quickly and a lot of value again. Because if somebody gets value quickly, they get the value again. then they are more likely to say, I understand this, I see why I'm getting value, I want to continue getting value. Getting the buy-in at the executive level is critical for us being able to retain them over time, because then the executive's not looking at it and saying, why are we wasting this money? But they're looking at it saying, I know why we're bought into this. I know why we need to be investing in this. I know the outcome that we want. Let's continue to build that out and get it. I think it all comes down to the buyer cycles and buyer authority and autonomy. I think in B2B, the person signing up or using it has all the authority and autonomy to make a decision to say, this thing, I'm going to use this, I'm going to pay for this, I'm going to continue to use it, or I'm not going to pay for this anymore, right? It's just a decision that you personally can make. In B2B, it gets a little bit more complicated because generally you're making a decision to use a piece of software, not just for yourself, but for other people on your team or at your company. So much longer cycles to get to a decision, much more considered. Yeah, I think the most critical thing is understanding the free to conversion paid percentage. So the number of people that are signing up for free, how many of them are paying. I think you have to look at benchmarks to see where are you? Are you getting 20% of free people signing up and paying? That's pretty amazing. Are you getting 0.02%? That's kind of rough, right? And you need to reconsider if that model is really going to work. So I think the free to paid conversion is the most critical part to take a look at. Yeah, so I think a lot of online businesses focus on the classics, right? Which are inbound and content and some like sales, outbound motion, like cold emails and stuff like that. And I think we're seeing that there are many other channels to really double down on. One that I learned about was all about podcast advertising. So companies like Zenefits has been really successful in podcast advertising. I think some other companies have been really successful with community. And I think building a community around your brand and your company is often overlooked. So not just about content that people might find in SEO, but content and things that people can engage with to say, I agree with this. I see that there's all these other like-minded people that also agree with this. Let's have discussions about it. I think that is a really important lever that's often hard to measure, but can really have great long-term benefits. So it's all about finding the perfect moment where a user is hitting a tipping point where bringing a human in from your side is the best thing for them to make that a seamless experience to go from free to paid and go through that like sales assisted type channel. I think that it is looking at the data to understand like where are people coming from when they do purchase, spend a lot of time on what that flow looks like, or where are people coming from where they really fall off. Like that's where you want to find a way to bring a human into that conversation. So I think it's all about looking at data. I think it's understanding those critical moments. And I think it's also just talking to people either that do convert or don't convert and say why, right? Understand what made them do that so that you can create things to make sure that they are more successful next time. Yeah, I mean, the classic PM answer to this, I feel like, is Google Docs. I also, I use an email tool called Superhuman. I never thought I'd be paying for an email client because Gmail is free, but here I am, and I think that it's an amazing product. I learned I learned product stuff from using their product because I see how smart their decisions are and how meticulous they are about the customer experience. So I just really love Superhuman. I really look up to the two co-founders at Drift. I think that they've gone through an incredible journey in their life. They've gone through a lot more difficult things than I've gone through, and to see them build the types of things that they do today and focus on their team and empowering people, I think it's really special. I also really love. There's this band called The Maine they have built themselves to be making music now for 13, 14 years by being fan driven and fan obsessed. And I think it's such a good corollary to business, where the best companies that can build great brands are customer obsessed and customer focused, and they're so fan driven. It's kind of the same thing, right? The fan is the customer to a band. A book that really changed my perspective and approach to things was a book called How to Win Friends and Influence People by Dale Carnegie. It's all about building relationships. I read it right before I started college, and it really, really, I would say, changed my trajectory of growth through the principles in that book. I can't possibly recommend it enough. Yeah, I think great opportunities just don't show up all that often. This is something that the founders of Drift say all the time, and I think that it's so important, because being prepared to take advantage of them when they show up is one of the best things you can do for yourself. You can manufacture opportunities by working really hard and like finding your way into the being there at the right time. When those opportunities do present themselves, really take advantage of them, because not everyone always gets them all the time, if at all. And so that advice has just really stuck with me. Our company has had to adopt a lot. I mean, most companies out there, especially in B2B and SaaS world, just immediately had to go to fully remote, and so that changes the way that teams operate and organizations function. So I think it's been tough, but I think you have resilient people and they're able to do resilient things, and so I'd say our team hasn't been all that affected by it.